بسم اللہ الرحمن الرحیم.
شروع اللہ کے نام سے جو رحمان و رحیم ہے.
اقرأ بسم ربک الذی خلق.
پڑھو اے نبی اپنے رب کے نام کے ساتھ جس نے پیدا کیا.
خلق الانسان من علق.
جمے ہوئے خون کے ایک لوتھڑے سے انسان کی تخلیق کی.
اقرأ وربک الاکرم.
پڑھو اور تمہارا رب بڑا کریم ہے.
الذی علم بالقلم.
جس نے قلم کے ذریعے سے علم سکھایا.
علم الانسان ما لم يعلم.
انسان کو وہ علم دیا جسے وہ نہ جانتا تھا.
Assalamu alaikum, dear parents and my dear student of BCS, welcome from my side. We will start our class in the name of Allah, the most gracious and the most merciful. Today we will review of first semester final term. I will teach you units. Unit number 6, 8, 10, 11, 12 and 27. I have taught you this all units, but today I want to give you again revision so that you can understand easily. At first, come to the page number 108. Transitive and intransitive. Now come to that transitive. Okay class, look it over here very carefully. Transitive, it needs object, means without object it never ever be complete. I eat what? Definitely I have to put over here I eat food. She teaches what? English, Urdu, Maths, Hindi, Physics, what? So definitely that one sentence we also need the object as well. She teaches math. Now look at over here intransitive. It doesn't need object. Without object, your sense will be clear automatically. Look at this example. He runs. It is absolutely understood that he runs. So over here we don't need any object. Look at another one example. She sleeps. So it is also understood that she sleeps. We also don't need object over here. I wait. So these are the which sentences which doesn't need object. These are called the intransitive. Okay. Now in your book, take out page number 135, gerunds. You will take out the page number 35, gerund, unit number. We will now talking about unit number 8, gerund. What is gerund? Now look it over here. When we use verb in place of noun, it is called gerund, such as I enjoy teaching. Here you can say that two words come together. First verb is enjoy. Second, it's also verb, but here it is used as a noun. It is a verb, but in this sentence it is used as a noun. Those sentences which are used as a noun, these are called the gerund. So neither it is verb nor it is noun, these are called the gerund. So it is a gerund. You may see another example. Do you like swimming? Like, it is a verb. And swimming, it is also verb, but same thing it happens that it is used over here as a noun, and these sentences are the called gerunds. So this is also gerunds. Okay, now come to the page number 163, unit number 11. At first we will talking about unit number 11 because when I was teaching you, I taught you unit number 11, then I taught you unit number 10. That's why I will teach you first unit number 11. What happened in it? Exercise number first. Give the 3 degrees of comparison for the following adverb. You know, if a verb ends on E. At first let me tell you the definition of adverb. Look it over here. An adverb is a word which modifies the meaning of word, such as she speaks English nicely. Okay, here you can say speak is a verb, English is an object, and nicely it is an adverb. An adverb is a word which modifies the meaning of verb. This example you can see easily that it modifies the meaning of verb. Now come to the exercise number 1. What you will do in this exercise, give the 3 degrees of comparison for the following adverb. What you will do, you will make 3 degrees comparison. First one is positive, second comparative, and third is superlative. But the question is that how will you make it? I have taught you, but for your revision I want to teach you again that how will you make it. If a word ends on E, so how will you make it superlative and comparative? Such as large. If a word ends on E, so you will put, when you will make its comparative and superlative. With comparative you will put ER. When you make it superlative you put EST. Such as large, larger, largest. Okay. If a word ends on consonant, so there is a what I should say, there is a vowel behind it. So what we will do, we leave out Y and put IER with its comparative and put IST with its superlative, such as happy, happier, happiest. If a word ends on consonants, double consonants. So we put ER with its comparative and we put EST with its superlative. And there are many words when we make its comparative and superlative, we don't need to put ER and EST. We put something else like such as beautiful, more beautiful, most beautiful. So these are the way which you can make its comparative and superlative. I hope you have gotten. Now come to the exercise number 2. What you will do, form exercise number 2, form adverbs from the following adjective and use each one in sentence. What you will do, at first you will convert into adverbs, then you will make its sentences. How? There is a word beautiful. There is a word beautiful. What you will do, at first you will convert into adverb, then you will make its sentences beautifully. She decorates her home beautifully. Okay. And he performs his speech beautifully. You can make any sort of sentences. I just want to make you understand how will you do that. Now there is another word, easy. At first you will convert into adverb, then make it sentences. Easy, easily. She cooks food easily. He comes to school easily. He can make his whole work easily. So there are many sentences which you can make easily. Okay. Now exercise number 3. Use the following words in sentences. First as adverb and then as adjective. What you will do? You will make it sentences, but at first in adverb, then in adjective. There is a one word fast. You will make it sentence in adverb, then in adjective. He rides a bike very fast. Then you will make it sentence, but not in adverb, in adjective. He is fast bowler. Okay. Now come to the exercise number 4. Identify the adverb in the following sentence and classify them. At first you will take out the adverb, that sentence, and tell us what sort of adverb it is. She dances beautifully. So what you will do? At first you will take out its word, then you will take what sort of adverb it is. Beautifully. It is an adverb. Now, what sort of adverb it is? So, if someone asks you that how did she dance? How did she dance? She dances beautifully. So, it means that whenever the question comes in your mind, how, it shows the adverb of manner. I have told you before, but for your revision, I want to make you understand again. That's why I am telling you. If the question comes in your mind that how, so it shows the adverb of manner. So this is a adverb of manner. Okay. Now come to the unit number 10. Come to the unit number 10, tenses. What you will do? You will make sentences present indefinite and past indefinite and past. Then you will make whole present progressive. She is cooking food. Now what you will do, you have made its positive sentence, now you will make its negative, then its interrogative, then you will make its passive. Now how will you make? She is cooking food. Now come to its negative. Now talking about its interrogative, how we will make its interrogative? We will put helping verb before the sentence, then we make its interrogative, such as is she cooking food? Then put the question mark at the end, because these are called the interrogative sentences, which are called that we are asking something to someone. Okay, now what you will do, you will make its passive. How will you make its passive? Object takes the position of subject and subject takes the position of object in passive. As you know that I have made you understand before. Food is being cooked by her. As I told you that object takes the place of subject and subject takes the place of object, and we always use third form of the verb whenever we make the passive. So food is being cooked by her. Now come to the past progressive. How we will make the past progressive? She was watching TV. Correct. Now what we will do, we will make its negative. We just put not, then automatically negative will come. She was not watching TV. Now we will make its interrogative. As I told you before, we must put the question mark at the end of this question, because these are the sentence which we are asking something to someone. That was she watching TV, then I put the question mark. Now what we will do, we will make it passive as well. How? As I told you before that object takes the place of subject and subject takes the place of object, and we must use third form, where whether you make the passive for present, future, past, etc. you must use third form of the verb. Now come to the passive. TV was being watched by her. Okay. Now come to the future progressive. How we will make future progressive? He will be playing cricket. If I am talking to someone, if I am talking about my younger brother, that at the same timing of tomorrow what he will do, so I will tell he will be playing cricket. Now make its negative. If I tell to someone no, he will do any other work, so how will I say that he will not be playing cricket? Okay. Now make its interrogative. Will he be playing cricket? Now what we will do, we will make its passive as well. Cricket will be being played by him. Okay, I hope you have gotten. I made you understand about three tenses of sentences. Was present progressive, then past progressive, then I made you understand future progressive. Now come to the unit number 12. Okay, unit number 12, page number 172. What you will do, exercise number 1, pick out the preposition in the following sentences. What you will do, you will take out the preposition and underline it. How will you do that? Father is not home. Father is not at home. So what you will do, you will take out its preposition, then underline it. Father is not at home. Correct. Yesterday she was not with me. So here is a preposition available in this sentence. So you can easily take out the preposition and underline it because you know the what is preposition. Now come to the exercise number 2. What you will do, there are 22 prepositions hidden in this grid. Can you find them? The word go either across or down. The word either go or down. Correct. So make one column just like that. And there is some preposition is hidden in that. What you will do, you will take out, you will use your mind. There is a word. So you can take out, there is a word is it, in, by, for. You just need to use your mind. You can take out these hidden preposition easily. No matter is that, you can take out easily. Okay, now come to the exercise number 3. Pick out the preposition and its object in each of the following sentences. He is blind in one eye. He is blind in one eye. What you will do, you will take out its preposition and tell its object as well. So its preposition is that in. This is preposition and I, it is an object of this sentence. Correct. Now come to the exercise number 4. Fill in the blanks with suitable preposition. As I made you understand where we use in, at, with, on, under, you have gotten. So you can put it easily. There is a one exercise, the horse is under the stable. The horse is under the stable. Why did I put under in it? Because it doesn't have 4 boundary walls. It is under. Correct. If you are somewhere where you can find that 3 sort of boundary wall around you, so you may put in over there, but here you will put under in this case. Okay, if I say I am dash street, so which preposition should I put on that? In or on? Do you think so that will I put in that? No, I will put on. I am on street. Why did I put on? Because street doesn't have 4 boundary walls. If you are somewhere and it has 4 boundary walls, so over there you can put in. But in this case, if you have just 2 boundary walls, so where you can put on. Okay. Now come to the exercise number 5. Work in pair and decide which of the words in italic are adverb and which preposition. Okay, you know, you will take out the, do you know the difference between preposition and adverb? A preposition needs object and adverb doesn't need object. So how you can recognize that? The sentence which needs object, these are called the prepositions, and which sentence which doesn't need the object, these are called the adverb. As you seen in this case as well, that after a month he returned, and there is another example, she arrived soon after. After a month, he returned. He returned. After, you may say it is preposition over here. Why it is preposition? Because it has object. Here you can see that month is an object of this sentence. So difference between object and adverb is that preposition has object, although adverb doesn't have object. I hope you have gotten the difference of preposition and adverb. And I wrote the adverb, after a month he returned. And there's another thing, she arrived soon. She arrived soon after. It is an object, because here you can say that there is no object. It is subjunctive pronoun. It is a verb and there is no object, you may see. Okay. Now come to the exercise number 6. Name the preposition in the following sentences and mention the word which each governs. What you will do, you will tell at first you will take out its preposition. Just suppose that little Jack Horner sat in a corner. Little Jack Horner sat in a corner. It is a preposition, and what sort of preposition it is? It is preposition of place. How will you recognize that it is preposition of a place? Because it shows a place of somewhere, that he was somewhere. Okay. Now what you will do? Exercise number 7. Form sentences to illustrate the use of the following words. First as preposition and as adverb. What you will do? You will make its sentences first as adverb, and you will make its sentences at first you will make its sentences in preposition, then you will make its sentences in adverb. The picture is behind me. It is a preposition sentence. How will you recognize that it is a preposition sentence? Because it shows an object. It shows an object. It has object. And you may see another sentence people talk about behind me. There is no object over here. You may see yourself that it doesn't show any object. So this is a sentence of adverb. And it's a sentence of preposition. Now come to the last one exercise. Okay, now come to the unit number 27, page number 290, means 290. Okay, what you will do, I will make you understand how to write an essay. I will make you understand that how to write an essay. Now, as I made you understand before, but for your revision, I want to make you understand that how to write an essay. What you will do, first write your correct statement. Then what you will do, write the body, write the introduction, and write the conclusion, and add the finishing touches that you will start absolutely correct way and give your write absolutely right, thus write your statement and write your conclusion. So if you follow these way, your essay will be absolutely perfect. Okay. Now come to the how do we write a story. At first you will do, don't create spelling mistakes. Correct, create some sort of suspense and write your story with this sequence. At first think about your positive characters, means don't create a supernatural character. Supernatural character are called those like some sort of ghost, pitches, which are not available in this world. So talking about the real character and write your story with this sequence. Okay, if you want to write a story, so you may think about your own best character, that if there is some person who lives with you, such as your father, your mother, so you may write their stories as well. It should be natural, and don't create spelling mistakes and create a suspense, and don't make it too much prolonged as well. Make it short summary and give a correct spelling and give any sort of lesson as well. Don't put its moral, because story is also called a moral. If you write the moral at the end of the story, it means that you didn't give any moral in that one story. Correct? So start writing very sequence, that at first it happens, then it happens, then at the end it happens. It looks absolutely lessonable story. Correct? And I'm telling you again and again that don't create this spelling mistake, because if you keep creating the spelling mistakes, so your remarks will be cut off from your teacher's side. Okay, so almost I have made you understand everything, my units 6, 8, 10, 11, 12, 27. Now come to the homework. What you will do? Yes, class, memorize all copy work from given solution. Okay, so for the timing it's enough now. Inshallah we will meet soon. Till then, Allah Hafiz, and take care of yourself and keep remembering in your prayers. Allah Hafiz.